Literature reviews are the most time consuming part of PhD, not because they are difficult, but because we have devised workflows which are 20 years ago. We search for a paper, we have a pile of 18 to 20 papers sitting in our laptops, and we are still staring at the blank screen. What if there was a better way to do this? In today's video, I will show you my own personal AI workflow for doing a literature review. If you have recently taken admission for PhD, then by the end of this video, you will have a complete roadmap on how to develop a high quality literature review in a matter of 48 hours. Let's begin. The first step is to define a research question. What we normally do is to input the question or the topic just into Google and done. We are done. So it doesn't work that way. Every platform that you work with has different search parameters. For example, the way you approach Google Scholar will be different if you are approaching Google. It would be different if you are approaching OpenLX. Okay, that is also a search platform for those who don't know. The goal of this step is to transform a broad topic into research questions. We will take the example of AI over here. Go to ChatGPT and convert this broad topic into 5 publishable research questions. The topic over here is artificial intelligence in higher education, and generate questions suitable for a literature review. So what this step does is it will narrow down the scope. You can use better keywords because it will automatically generate keywords for this, and you will get better search queries. So once you are done, you have something like this. As you can see, everything is concise and it has been turned into specific question. So you can choose what question you want to go ahead with, or you can keep it like that. But by this step, you have got an idea of the different facets of AI. AI in higher education is a vast topic. You need something that can be done in 5 years. For that, we need to be specific. The next step is to collect, search, and organize papers. I have seen research scholars, myself included, in the initial stages of my PhD. I used to just go and collect research papers and dump it into one folder. At the end of the day, it used to really confuse me for doing a literature review. For searching, we will get the search terms in ChatGPT. Generate Boolean search strings for Google Scholar, Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed, and the topic that we are selecting in this particular example is large language models in medical education. Here, search strings are required because, as I've mentioned earlier, the different search platforms work differently. So Boolean search strings is nothing but it will give you the same search query with and or operators and how it can be best optimized. If you can see the result of this particular chat, it has developed a script and you can now paste this in whichever search engine that you are using. The next part is to collect research papers. Now we have got the search strings. We will type it in respective databases or search engines. One thing that I want to suggest over here is for searching research papers, avoid AI. Search databases, whether it is Google Scholar, Scopus, advanced, and they are much more optimized for search rather than ChatGPT. Go in for Google Scholar or Semantic Scholar or even OpenLX. Humanities and social science students can directly search in Web of Science. Next, we will export everything. There are 3 kinds of file formats which are generally used. First is PDFs, which is my personal favorite and my personally preferred format. Second would be RIS files, and third would be byte text. These are the 3 formats which are normally used. I personally use PDF format. I have not used any other formats. If you are working with other softwares which require these formats, then you might want to export into that. Once you get all the papers, now is the time to organize everything. For this, you will require a reference manager. A reference manager is nothing but a software which organizes all your research papers, your review papers into one place. There are search automations that if you create one folder on your laptop, add a research paper to that, it will automatically get synced to the reference manager. I personally use Mendeley and I have done a detailed tutorial on this, which I have explained in this video. There are other reference managers as well, such as Zotero, EndNote, and there are several others which you can use. Mendeley is the most prominent one that is being used by research fraternity across the globe. The next and the most important step is to do a bulk AI reading and build your evidence metrics. In this particular step, we will go through all the papers, read all of them, analyze all of them using AI. The tool that will be used over here is Notebook LLM. From my personal experience, I have seen that other AI tools are best for optimizing single query. If you have one research paper, if you have one tool, then it is best to go ahead with that. Notebook LLM is a software by Google itself, and in this you can put as many publications as you want. When I'm doing literature review, I won't have 1 or 2 papers. I will at least have 20. That is the minimum. So for such 20, 50, 100 kinds of papers, Notebook LLM works the best. Here I have made a demo folder of 10 publications. One tip from me personally is when you are doing literature review, when you are analyzing papers, go for research article, original research articles. Whether you are from humanities, law, engineering, any of them, it will give you much optimized output, which is definitely useful for your work. The prompt to be used over here is using the attached papers, create a comparison table, columns, author, year, country. Go to Notebook LLM, click on sources, you click on upload files, and you upload all the 10 files. Using the attached papers, create a comparison table. Columns, author, year, country, objective, method, sample, dataset, findings, limitations, future work. This prompt is really helpful in getting a file which analyzes all of them and gives you a ready-made data. This is your evidence metric. For all future prompts, we will be using this as the base. Step 4 is to synthesize literature, discover literature gaps, and divide the studies into themes. Themes are nothing but they are categories on which the entire papers would be based on. You are a humanities scholar and you are working on the work done by Shakespeare. Now, there could be a lot of work which is done by this one person. In which direction do you want your study to go? For that, we need to know what kind of different categories do the studies fit into. First thing that we are going to do over here is to find out the research gaps. For this, we will use this prompt and we will use the same notebook chat that we have used to produce evidence metrics. Once this is done, it will give an Excel file which has given all the different kinds of things which we had asked. The next task is to find out themes. For that, we will use the same chat of Notebook LLM and we will type this prompt. Now that the output is ready, as you can see, it has systematically divided everything into themes. There is also a summary page which you can refer to and you will find exactly what needs to be going in your literature review. By this particular step, we have all the thing that is required. We know exactly what each publication states and what are its findings. We know exactly the research gaps that are remaining. We know exactly what are the themes which are present and how things can go around. Now the important step is to create the structure and outline of literature review. Here we will be using this prompt. Create a literature review outline using the themes already provided in the Excel file generated by you. Use the themes as a primary structure for the literature review instead of organizing the review around individual research papers. And this is the rest of the part of the prompt. Once I typed this, I got the complete outline for literature review. Just see how beautifully it has categorized everything. It's already compartmentalized into introduction, background of research, importance of the topic, scope of literature review, objectives, theme 1, there is overview, synthesis, key findings, limitation, transition. Then you have theme 2 and so on and so forth. This gives a complete outline ready for writing. The next step is actually the writing part. Okay, you write the draft. For this purpose, my personal advice would be to avoid the use of any AI. You already have the structure, you have the outline, you know exactly what will go in which paragraph. Use the references and write a first draft. We will be using AI for grammar and formatting in later section. I will take you through it, but avoid use of AI for this particular section. Step 7 is to verify facts, citation and evidence. Every sentence that you have made, you need to go and see how it's linking to the reference. There cannot be even one sentence which is from your brain. You have written it based completely on an evidence. Here you need to check 4 things. Check claims against source papers. If you have taken a sentence sentence from reference. Is it really there? You are confirming it. Second, verify quotation. If there is any sentence which is in quotes or you have taken figures, these are statistical studies, then you can go in for that. Confirm author name, years and DOIs. Remove hallucinated citation. Any citation which does not match to the claim, you remove that. This particular step will give you a fact-checked manuscript, not just what you have written according to your mind. Step 8 is to polish writing. Here we will be using AI to check the formatting, to check grammar, and to check the different aspects as far as the language, grammar, punctuation, and formatting. These 4 parameters are concerned. You can use this prompt. The literature review document is complete. Review and edit it for academic quality while preserving its original content and intent. Then you have the rest of the part of the prompt. When you are using this prompt, you need to attach the manuscript that you have just prepared in the chat itself. This gives a complete manuscript which is ready for submission. Step 9 is to format references and prepare for final submission. Here it's a manual step and we will check for 5 different things. First, generate bibliography. Just because you have inserted references does not mean bibliography automatically appears at the end. You need to manually put it. It happens in one click in most of the reference managers, so you don't have to worry. Second, apply the citation style which is required. APA, IEEE, Howard, Vancouver style. Third, go through the document and see if anything is missing. Formatting. Fourth, final proofread. Go through each of the word and see it should make sense to someone who has not been into this particular area. Fifth, export document as PDF or as a doc depending on the kind of conditions set by your department or institute. Since I mentioned in the introduction that this literature review can be done in 48 hours, you can follow this timeline. Day 1, you can start searching for papers in the morning, download PDFs, organize library. By afternoon, you can go in for AI summaries, comparison table. The master evidence matrix is a part of this. By evening, you can go for identification of themes, identification of research gaps, and everything that is required for you to start writing your first draft. Day 2 morning, you can generate the outline. You start writing the sections. By afternoon and by evening, you can go in for editing, fact checking, formatting, references, all the checks which are required for the final submission. This format gives you a complete roadmap on how to go around it in just 48 hours. And this is really helpful when you are short on time and you have recently taken admission for PhD. As a senior researcher, I recall my own time getting so confused in between literature review. I still have a pile of research papers in my laptop and I actually didn't know how to go around it. It is so refreshing to see that AI can be used to solve problems which not just compress time but they also increase value. I'm so happy that my future generations don't have to go through the things that I had to go through as a first year research scholar, at least as far as literature review and the different writing part is concerned. If you want more such tutorials, leave in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.